I never believed in ghosts. I always thought they were just stories people made up to scare each other. But that all changed during my trip to Moscow, a trip that I will never forget. It was my first time traveling to Russia and I was beyond excited. I had always been fascinated by the country's rich history and culture. I had planned my trip meticulously, making sure to visit all the famous landmarks and museums. Little did I know, my trip would take an unexpected turn. I arrived in Moscow on a chilly October morning. The city was bustling with people, and the streets were lined with colorful buildings. I checked into my hotel and immediately set out to explore the city. I visited Red Square, St. Basil's Cathedral, and the Kremlin. I was in awe of the beauty and grandeur of these places. As the sun began to set, I decided to take a walk around the city. I stumbled upon a small alleyway that seemed to lead to a quieter part of the city. As I walked down the alley, I noticed an old abandoned building. It piqued my curiosity, and I couldn't resist the urge to explore it. I cautiously made my way inside the building, trying not to make any noise. The interior was dark and eerie, with cobwebs covering the walls and broken furniture scattered around. I made my way through the rooms, and as I turned a corner, I saw a figure standing in front of me. My heart skipped a beat, and I froze in fear. The figure was translucent, and I could see right through it. It was a woman, dressed in a white gown. She had a sad expression on her face, and her eyes were filled with sorrow. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it was just my imagination, but when I opened them, the figure was still there. I tried to move, but I was paralyzed with fear. The woman slowly started to approach me, and I could feel a chill run down my spine. She stopped in front of me and spoke in a whisper, "Help me." I couldn't believe it. The ghost was talking to me. I mustered up the courage to ask, "Who are you?" The woman's expression turned even sadder, and she replied, "I am Elena. I died in this building many years ago. I have been trapped here ever since. Please, help me find peace." I was shocked and didn't know what to do. I had never encountered a ghost before, and I didn't know how to help her. But I couldn't just leave her there, trapped and alone. I promised Elena that I would help her find peace. She told me her story, how she had been a maid in the building and was murdered by her employer's jealous wife. Her body was never found, and her spirit had been trapped in the building ever since. I spent the whole night talking to Elena, trying to figure out a way to help her. She showed me hidden rooms in the building that I would have never found on my own. We discovered a diary that belonged to her, which had clues about her death. With each passing hour, I felt a stronger connection to Elena. I wanted to help her find the closure she needed. As the sun rose, I knew I had to leave the building. I promised Elena that I would come back and continue our search. I left the building, feeling a mix of emotions. I was scared, but also determined to help Elena. I spent the next few days researching about the building and Elena's death. I found out that her employer's wife was arrested for her murder. But there was no evidence to convict her. The case remained unsolved, and Elena's body was never found. Determined to bring justice to Elena, I contacted the authorities and shared all the information I had gathered. They were skeptical at first, but when I told them about my encounter with Elena's ghost, they agreed to reopen the case. After weeks of investigation, the police were finally able to find Elena's body buried in the building's basement. Her employer's wife confessed to the murder, and justice was finally served. Elena's spirit was finally at peace. I couldn't believe what I had just witnessed. I had helped a ghost find closure, and in turn, she had helped me discover a new purpose in life. I had always been a skeptic, but now I was a believer. As my trip to Moscow came to an end, I couldn't help but feel grateful for the unexpected turn of events. I said my final goodbyes to Elena, thanking her for the unforgettable experience. I left Moscow with a newfound appreciation for the unknown and a deeper understanding of the power of the human spirit, but my story doesn't end there. A few months after my trip, I received a package in the mail. It was from Moscow, and inside was a letter from Elena. In it, She thanked me once again for helping her find peace and enclosed a small trinket as a token of her gratitude. I was shocked. How was this possible? Had Elena's spirit reached out to me from the afterlife? Or was it just a coincidence? I will never know for sure, but one thing is certain, my trip to Moscow and my encounter with a ghost will always remain a mysterious and unforgettable experience.